Let's go.
Times change. Yeah. So do we. The all-new Chapman Radio
starts now.
Welcome to Girls on Film with Chapman Radio.
Follow us on our socials at Girls on Film Radio.
Hey party
everyone.
people. Welcome to Girls on Film Radio. No filter, no boys, just two Dodge girls talking about the films that we want to talk about.
Guys, I'm actually pivoting my whole career. I'm abandoning film, I'm abandoning screenwriting, and I'm going to be a farmer. I've decided that crop growing and
Interesting.
Harvesting broccoli sprouts is actually
Cauliflower.
Cauliflower are actually my dream job.
Well, I'm really happy that you found what, makes your heart go wild, Maddie.
Yeah, I'm just noticing because of how wet and rainy it is outside that I just felt like my crops would grow so much more than my career ever could.
You've been playing too much Heyday.
Yeah, so much Heyday.
Hey guys, how's everyone doing on this fine, soaking wet Tuesday in California?
Yeah, none of us know how to dress for this weather. Izzy and I thought that we would be able to put all of our cold clothes aside after we came back from our trip to New York, but I guess not.
Wrong.
I guess not, because why is it actually pouring rain outside?
Yeah, not fun. We drove over here.
I
guess
usually walk. It's a spring weather to a degree, but not the vibes.
Someone in the clouds is showering, and they just won't stop.
Yeah.
They're just so stinky.
I know. Is this a sign? It's whatever, though.
Breaking news. I didn't have any breaking news, but I did send Maddie something that I thought was
Yeah.
funny. Quentin Tarantino, like a while ago, said he was only gonna make like 8 movies or something. I forget what number it is. He was like,
He's
I'm
so
only gonna make 8 movies, and those are gonna be it. But he's working on a TV show also, which is like, okay, so now he's gonna TV. But he announced today that his new movie, The Movie Critic,
It's literally.
he's working on it.
Isn't it? Is it about him? Is it?
No, but I just assumed it's
He's
gonna be.
literally such a weirdo.
Let's find
He's
out.
so annoying, but he's making a big deal out of it, saying like, "It's my last one. It's my last project." Blah 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 blah. Be quiet.
That's what Spielberg said, and then he lied.
Yeah.
The logline details are being kept in a suitcase. Okay.
Like literally, why does he have to act like this?
Oh, wait. A 1970s set in 1970s Los Angeles with a female lead. That's unheard of for Tarantino.
Okay, so it's sounding just like, well, kind of following the same
Oh, it
outline
says
of.
it says it could focus on the Pauline Kael, one of the most influential movie critics of all time. I don't know. She's just famous, but I know nothing else. All I know is that I don't really care about Tarantino that much.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry.
Sorry, film bros. It's just not.
He's fabulous, and you guys just need to swallow that big pill because
Yeah.
none of us care.
Yeah.
None of us care.
Oh, we could talk about the Oscars.
Yeah. So I knew that Everything Everywhere was gonna get Best Picture. Izzy, you said
Yeah.
that it was gonna be The Fabelmans, and
No,
it
no,
wasn't.
I said I wanted the Fabelmans to. Fabelmans is my favorite, but I knew
We
Everything
all
Everywhere
knew
was gonna
Everything
win.
Everywhere was gonna have a sweep. I've been saying this. Asian excellence. It's a
Yes,
great
ma'am.
week to be Asian.
Michelle
I am
Yeoh, Ki Hoi Kwan.
the Daniels,
Yeah.
one of them,
Yeah,
the Daniel Asian
Yeah.
one.
yeah. It was a good Oscars, I will say.
I saw this funny ass photo of like Jamie Lee Curtis jumping up and down when
Oh,
she
wait.
was like on stage, and somebody said it's her farts from the activity boosting her into the air.
Stop it!
It
right?
was so funny.
Stop it right now. Surprising stuff at the Oscars was All Quiet on the Western Front kind of swept like all of the mini awards, and
yeah,
then
which was
Best Music. And I saw a post that was like, "Wait, you picked Diet Hans Zimmer over Coke Room Babylon?"
wait, yeah,
I think Babylon should have won. It's like,
at least something.
yeah, it's like the brum, brum
Yeah.
sound. I kept hearing that sound all night. It was a brum, brum. That's like their thing.
Well, this was like a real test to see, because this year has been really following the same trends in film, like biopics, movies about movies, all these things. And for today's like episode theme, we're gonna be diving into like another kind of fad that's
Yeah.
getting into film and TV,
Yeah.
which.
We'll
You
talk.
know,
We'll talk.
We'll
about
talk
it in a
about
second.
it, but sorry, Austin Butler. I know that you came to claim your crown here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
You-
it was
you
not.
are
It was just
sad.
not your year. Brendan Fraser just had to take it from you. So sorry.
Yeah.
And even above you, Austin Butler, I would have picked Colin Farrell, but I did.
yeah.
Brendan Fraser needed it, and he deserved it.
And Hunter Schafer mothered so hard
the
with her
Vanity
Vanity Fair outfit. Z-Way ate so hard.
I
Olivia did. I just love women.
thank you for sharing. I appreciate it.
What can I say? All I can say is I love women, and I'm proud to be an Asian.
That's like the message takeaway.
That's my only message for every single episode we do.
There we go. Before we get into the episode, follow us on Instagram at Girls on Film Radio. Listen to our past episodes on Spotify and Apple
I'm getting too hot.
Podcasts. No, I'm starting to sweat also. For what are we watching this week? I guess no. I watched not this week. I watched yesterday. I watched the Navalny documentary. What are you doing?
That would have been funny, but I
She's
can't.
putting her
it
hat
won't
on top
work.
of her. It was cute. I watched the Navalny documentary, and that was the documentary that won Best Picture. I watched that immediately after the Oscars, and it's one of my new favorite
Boats.
documentaries. So good. It's about Alexei Navalny, who is running against Putin in Russia,
Oh, yeah,
and
Izzy
about
was
how he was
explaining
poisoned,
this.
and how he's now in jail for running against Putin. But it's a really good documentary.
I literally don't know how there's systems around the world that literally function like this.
Yeah. No,
Like,
it's insane.
genuinely, politics makes it's hard to digest how that's even a plausible thing, and then how it's possible for like Americans to be able to make a documentary or like people to make a documentary about this.
I think it was a German guy who made it, but
but like for
So.
him to win an award for it while this dude that
Is
they
in
made
jail.
it on is in jail.
well, at the end of the documentary, he goes to jail. But what happened was he got poisoned on he got poisoned. He started feeling it on an airplane, and the airplane made a surprise landing, and then they injected him with like an antidote. But they brought him to a Russian hospital to wait for the poison to get out of his system, so there wouldn't be any proof that he was poisoned.
Yeah. I'm looking at photos. This is actually so insane.
No, it's a really good documentary.
Oh no, photos of him like in the hospital.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're all like he's fighting the fight for Russia and all these things.
My
and
two
then
favorite documentaries ever about Russia. It's Icarus and this one.
This one's the last chance to save. How do you say his
Alexei.
name? Alexei Navalny.
Yeah.
That is so sad and crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm watching. Are you watching anything new?
No,
She's just writing.
I'm always just writing.
She's just such a screenwriter.
I am such a screenwriter. I'm ready to go home. I don't know what my plans are. Hopefully nothing. I have kind of put my feature on the back burner for like a lot of this semester because there's not really like due dates for it. It's more of like you have to make periodic progress on it. But now I'm getting so jumbled in the sauce that I don't like any of it. So I am making a plan for myself, Girls on Filmers. I need to set this precedent.
Everyone
for
listening,
myself.
keep her accountable.
Yeah, keep me accountable next week during spring break. I want to work on it like every day
I'll
because
text you every
like
morning.
little progress is better than like trying to do it all at once and then I just get too overwhelmed.
Yeah, I get it.
So we'll see how that goes.
We'll see. 10 pages a day. Is that a lot? I don't know.
Yes, that's so much.
5 pages a day.
Yeah, 5 to 7 is like a good number.
Oh, you can do 10.
No, 10 is like 10 is good if I have an outline, but I'm going from like off the dome right now.
Okay.
Cause yeah.
Fair. Well, I did watch something on Sunday night also that is going to transition us into the topic of this
Yeah.
episode. I watched the season finale of The Last of Us. I won't say any spoilers because I know Paige is going to listen, and Paige, our roommate's also watching it. She hasn't watched it
and
yet.
it's still pretty fresh.
It's fresh, and but it also has existed for like the
Yeah.
video game has existed, and it is the same. So,
Yeah.
but I won't be saying any spoilers. But the topic of today's episode is adaptations of things. Maddie, would you care to explain a little bit while I take my sweatshirt off?
Yeah. Of just what adaptations are in general. Well, as I was kind of saying before, I felt as if this year has really been testing all the new different trends and fads that the Hollywood has been kind of following, whether that be the biopics, whether that be movies about movies. And I feel that even though it's kind of just two that kind of put it on the map, at least for this year, being Daisy Jones and the Six and The Last of Us, adaptations I feel like are going to be is the new girl in town. She's the new trend. It's easy. It's basically taking any other form of media besides movie or TV and transitioning it into being something that can be on the silver screen.
And then sometimes they remake things.
Yeah, and then sometimes it gets trapped in the cycle and the cycle and the cycle. But yeah.
Yeah. It's adaptations have been around. Like
Yeah.
IP is I'm not talking film terms.
Yeah.
Intellectual property is a big deal in the film industry because I wrote this down. It's if an author of a book or a creator of a video game it already has a following of people who enjoy that,
Yeah.
it's an automatic already there's
Audience.
fans.
Yeah.
So a studio is more likely to produce something that has a fan base or following or people that have seen it or heard about it before.
Yeah.
They're more likely to produce that than something that some random person wrote. That's good.
Yeah, and like in all these things, especially I feel like in video games, you obviously get a sense of the story, but the narrative really isn't there for you to be able to like grasp without being like an actual part of it.
Yeah.
Like with The Last of Us, you're like playing and you're immersed in this
Well-
world. But you're like, but you're not able to sit back and just watch it as an audience
Well,
member.
what's interesting is, most video game adaptations into film or TV fail because of that, because it's supposed to be like a long running game that you play
Yeah.
with, not you are the story.
Yeah.
But the thing, we could talk about this again, like The Last of Us, the thing that made the game so unique when it originally came out was that there was so much
Story.
like what is it, the side, not like the side stories, but
Like
like
side
the
quests.
cutscenes.
Oh, cutscenes. Yeah.
There were so many cutscenes that you would get to at different checkpoints that made this story, and it was just like all I know about the video game is that it was like a beautiful story, and I watched the whole
Yeah.
video game.
And
so
usually for a lot of people, I feel like they just want to be able to play the game. They want to go straight into it.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people will just like skip over it. But the fact that it was good enough that people would just sit to actually watch
Yeah.
a 5-minute, 10-minute thing in between getting to like the actual
Yeah.
fun of it shows how good of a story and like
And
how worth it was to make.
we're gonna talk about fails and successes throughout, but I guess we can start with video games because I have a fail that it hasn't even come out yet, and I know it's gonna be a fail. The Super Mario Bros. Movie. Well, they cast Chris Pratt, and that was already a fail.
An L.
That was already an L. Why are you casting Chris Pratt as Mario? It's just not gonna. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, where's our Italian actor?
Yeah,
or
but Anya
something?
Taylor-Joy can stay.
But I think that if in some world this actually grasps an audience, this is like another thing that I was thinking about like the Super Mario's movie and like Sonic and stuff. Is like, who is the audience?
I don't know.
Like, is there?
It's a good
it
question.
doesn't feel like it's for kids because I'm assuming like
Adult jokes.
yeah,
and-
adult jokes, and they're gonna be I don't know casting like Anya Taylor-Joy to be Princess Peach is like
You know what
cute
you're doing.
because we know as adult women who she is, but like a 6-year-old is
Has no
gonna
idea.
want like I don't know who's like some relevant like TikToker young person.
Yeah.
If they knew that they were gonna make this for a younger audience, they would have done that, but they didn't. So it's like, are they knowing that it's only gonna
But
be
again,
like
it's like that there's they know that there's people who've played this game of all age
Yeah.
ranges, so they're somehow gonna make it where it doesn't matter. The adult jokes are like so hidden that only
Exactly.
the adults are gonna giggle, and then the adults are gonna bring their kids that they just had that are 2 years old to the movie because
Yeah.
they've been playing on their Switch all COVID.
Yeah.
So. It's just, but also the thing, like you were saying about the story. What is the story in Super Mario Bros? There's no
No.
story in the
It's
game,
all-
right?
it's literally just Mario trying to save Princess Peach from Bowser. Bowser?
Bowser.
Yeah.
We know nothing.
Yeah, that's literally it.
But it's like there's not plot points. You just fight the other characters.
yeah, and
right.
you literally punch some mushrooms and you
Yeah,
like get
it's-
some
I'm
coins.
I'm not understanding. Like
Are we ignorant to
maybe
the
this is
Mario
just-
community?
but maybe it's just like Wreck-It Ralph, kind of. Because like Wreck-It Ralph is like
Oh,
a
I
story, but it
love
wasn't
Wreck-It-
based on a game.
Yeah, I don't know. But my thing is that like in this magical and like miraculous case that this actually ends up being okay, I want a Luigi's Mansion movie. What are you doing?
I moved my chair way too far down. Sorry.
sounds literally so fun. I play Luigi's Mansion on my Switch and it's so fun. I absolutely loved it. The premise of that game is that Luigi is basically like he goes to this hotel and every floor of the hotel is themed like a different thing. So there was like a Hollywood floor, there was like a pyramid desert floor, there's like a pool floor, there's like a kitchen floor. It's like so cute, and he has to defeat all these little monsters and ghosts, and then like
Bet they're gonna have a scene with that in it.
and then like the beast monster is like within that floor pertains to that specific theme, and I feel like that would be so cute. And like, why don't we give love to like every other character besides Mario?
I
Like,
think we
he's
should just
such
be
a lame.
consultants on all adaptations.
I know, and like I don't know. Hope we'll see. I don't even know how.
Same thing with Sonic. I wrote Sonic. The second Sonic movie, I don't know, was popular, I guess. And Sonic 1, I guess.
Well,
All I remember is that they had to reanimate Sonic's face.
because everyone was
'Cause it was so
ganging up
ugly.
on him, and he was such a freaking creepy weirdo
Yeah.
looking.
I just listed some other random ones. I didn't know if there the one I want to talk about was Prince of Persia.
Wait, I didn't even know that was a video game.
So I think it's I mean, at least Prince.
Angry Birds is on this list, and I looked up on I just looked up video game adaptations on Rotten Tomatoes. It's fully the second best rated like video game adaptation. I don't know if it's 1 or 2, but I was like, wasn't
Why?
David Dobrik literally in this? Like, how could you guys be rating it so high? Like, I don't know.
Okay, well, the Prince of Persia is like a game. It's a game. It's a video game, but like it's about a Persian prince, and they
Yeah.
cast Jake Gyllenhaal as the Persian, and everyone's like, "Wait, this is not all right."
Wait, Prince of Persia, like, wait.
The movie is based on the video game, but the video game is about
Yeah.
a Persian prince, and Jake Gyllenhaal is
Yeah.
very visually not a Persian man.
Whoa, this actually, he has like a gnarly wig, and he looks so weird.
Well, you think it's a wig? You don't think they made him grow his hair out?
I don't know, but it just looks so. Why is he giving? Oh, you can't even see it.
Oh, I know.
Can you
That's
even
so-
see this?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's not a wig. I don't know, but
It's just bad.
no. Yeah, this came out in 2010. I'm glad to see that since then we have become more culturally aware,
Yeah.
and we hopefully are no longer doing stupid shit like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the hell? I did not even know that
You're
was a
welcome.
thing.
I know that's a big conversation. I was like, why?
Yeah,
But
literally.
because people
why.
talk about how good of an actor Jake Gyllenhaal is, and then there's that.
No, like, see, and now having been, like, almost having concluded, like, our sophomore year of film school and, like, growing more industry experience as we're doing this, like, it takes, like, moving mountains to make a movie.
Mhm.
So, like, for something like that to be made and,
Yeah.
like, to go through the whole process of what it takes for something to, like, be able to come out is insane, because how the hell did that happen?
No, and then you think about like all the casting directors of the world, like they couldn't just find someone who was also a good actor. Like I understand you have to put like a name person in it, but like
Yeah.
literally anyone else.
Yeah, and if it was a video game that people liked, they would have seen it no matter what,
Yeah.
whether it be to like hate watch it or to
Yeah.
like watch it genuinely.
So this is a fail. I would say this is a fail.
Yeah, because what the heck?
Are there any other video games you want to talk about? Because there's a lot of books.
I thought that was interesting. So I put Tomb Raider on here of Angelina Jolie as Lara
Oh.
Croft.
Oh,
and
it is a video
It's
game.
a
yes.
video game, but I feel like everybody knows Lara Croft as a character. But like not because the movie was like spectacular or great, but just because she was a cool, badass like
Mhm.
character just as a figure.
Mhm.
But I feel like I've never played the game. I don't know anything about the actual game, but I know who Lara Croft is. So I feel like that has to be significant.
I
in
feel
some
like we
way.
know it because of the movie, though. Like maybe that's because the movie was just so much
Maybe-
more popular than the game ever was because of Angelina Jolie. But
Yeah,
they
I
also made
think
another movie,
Yeah, which totally flopped. We're
Yeah.
not talking about that one. We're talking about the Angelina Jolie one.
the actual
because-
okay one.
Yeah. 2001. So it was very much like around the same. It was like the transition period between like the Y2K
Mhm.
and everything. So everybody was like getting on anything technology.
Every
based.
Halloween since has been Lara Croft filled.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I feel like that lends itself to not being a flop.
I would say
That's
that
like a
that one is
slay.
a success
Yeah.
farther than the video game took.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well next we just can go through like the list of book adaptations, all of them that have ever been made ever. We're actually gonna list every single one.
Yeah, y'all got a minute.
Yeah.
I hope.
Well, if we listed all of them, we'd be here forever. So I picked ones that we've talked about before, like things that would be relevant. I just wrote like
Yeah.
anything that Stephen King wrote.
Yeah, basically.
Anything that Stephen King wrote, whoever adapted the first Stephen King book or short story, like you have caused me pain and suffering because you started this chain of events where every movie that's a horror movie that has somehow an interesting plot is written by Stephen King.
Well, we got like Carrie early on, which is like literally one of the most iconic films, one of my favorite movies ever, and that ate so hard. But
But it's still like you look at like all these horror movies that exist that are like really popular and they're all written by Stephen King. Like
yeah, this man's a little
let's see.
sadistic. I don't know. Wait.
Misery's Stephen King, right? Shining is Stephen King. It's Stephen King. They're making
Oh,
the fairy tale
yeah.
dragon one. Stephen King Pet
Pet
Cemetery.
Yeah.
Like
Dr.
Shawshank
Sleep,
Redemption.
Yeah.
Under the Dome, which is a series that they made.
Children of the Corn. Yeah.
Like literally everything. The Boogeyman. Dr. Sleep.
Yeah.
1408. I think that's something maybe.
I cannot tell you one person. Actually, no. I feel like when it came out, because the cast was our age,
Mhm.
everybody in my high school was obsessing over them, including me.
Mhm.
But that's literally the only Stephen King book that I know people actually read in tandem
Interesting.
with the movies.
Oh, like prior or during? Like
just generally, like when the second Carrie came out, I don't know anybody who was reading Carrie.
Oh, that's such an interesting way to think about it because, like, when I heard that this is a comparison, The
Yeah.
Last of Us show was coming out,
Yeah.
I immediately watched the video game. When I heard it was coming out, I was not enticed to read
Right.
the books.
Me either.
Same thing with any other of these Stephen King things. Like, I'm not interested in reading the book versions of
Yeah,
them.
I think it's because I've kind of been desensitized to his stories because he just has so many of them.
He doesn't write. There's no way he writes all of them.
Yeah, it's like I just know that it's going to be pretty decent if he's had this great track record. So it's like I don't feel the need to have to do my research on it and like know about it.
But that's
before.
such an interesting way to look at like,
Right?
if I like another one I wrote down on book adaptations was The Hunger Games. Like The Hunger Games made me want to read
Oh,
the books
yeah,
when I heard that the movies were existing.
Yeah.
Whenever how many years ago that was. So it's like I guess that's a good way to base how like dedicated the fans are, or like dedicated new fans are, or how it appeals to newer fans.
Wait, wasn't it literally in? Oh my God! Wait, I'm actually having the biggest brain fart about our favorite movie.
Stuck in Love?
Yeah, didn't
What?
he love Stephen King? Remember?
Oh, yeah.
And he like wrote all his little fan mail. And
It was Stephen King, right?
Yeah,
That's so weird.
he's the only
it's
one.
full circle, guys. It's full
Yeah,
circle.
he's the only one.
Wait, doesn't
to
he? He
read-
calls Stephen King in the movie, right?
Yeah, and he like. Does he get like a little cameo? I feel like he does. I
No,
remember-
he on the phone. Like Stephen,
Yeah.
he called like the dad's a famous author, and I think the dad gets the somehow the
Yeah.
son to call. Weird,
Yeah.
weird. Did he produce that?
Oh, most definitely not. I feel like he would not even want to be associated with such a normie core movie, even though
Huh.
nobody's seen it.
Huh. Interesting.
But that just fully. I guess he's the one character or one person that's actually
Yeah,
committed.
Stephen King is in the cast list.
yeah.
Of the movie.
A committed fan of his. But
Yeah.
I mean, he's like coming out with stuff as we speak. Right?
Yeah, there's
Probably.
there's another thing that's being adapted. It's like his dragon story. I don't know. There's too many.
Yeah.
You can talk about Little Women.
No, Izzy still hasn't even seen the newest one.
I
which
saw
is
the old one,
actually-
guys. I like
That's
Christian
not
Bale.
enough. And you have to watch.
I'm scared. I'm
both.
scared. I don't want to not like it. It's like the hype
No.
is so real, and I don't want to not like
No,
it.
but as a woman, it's literally your duty to just watch this. Louise Maycott, wait, what's
Yeah,
her name?
that's
Yeah,
it.
she literally is like calling upon all women to watch. It's just
Well,
so.
I watched the first one,
That's not enough.
seen the play.
though. Okay, yeah.
but you want me to see Timothy
But you haven't
Chalamet.
read the book either.
I
so
don't
it's
plan
like,
on reading. I don't plan on reading. I'm not too interested in like period pieces from like the 1900s,
Really?
1800s, 1900s. Like, sure, if there's something so like I'm so connected to the plot in some way, but like
Oh, that's like one thing I should have added on here was like
What?
Pride and Prejudice.
Oh,
and,
that's the
like,
same genre. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like all of the Jane Austen. I love Jane Austen.
if you go to Barnes and Noble and you go to the section that's the
The
cloth bound
classics.
classics, any of those are movies already.
Yeah, and I love Jane Austen as an author. I think she's like so funny and had such great humor. But the movies kind of flopped, like especially the newest one, like Persuasion and all that stuff.
Oh, well, that's because they did it weird, like
Weird.
fourth wall breaking.
Yeah,
something.
so I'm not even gonna talk about those because
But it's so interesting because I'm not interested in reading the books, but I do like Bridgerton.
yeah, see, I think
Hmm.
it's because you're coming into it with already a bias towards or against it because you
Well,
just
I
know.
the hype is so real. I don't want to watch it and not like it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can talk about normal people. I feel like we talk about normal
But
people all the time.
All in all, Little Women actually broke the world when
it
the
did.
newest one when it came out. I
Because of
mean, how
Timmy.
could you not? Oh, and like every other woman in. it
Well,
just-
I feel like I feel like the reason that the internet was so obsessed with it was Timmy and Saoirse's relationship.
Oh yeah.
But they knew what they were doing when they casted Timmy.
Yeah, knowing that he wasn't even gonna end up with her, and that she was gonna end up with. Is it Amy the
Amy's
Florence Pugh? Yeah.
I think so.
No, literally the most that Louisa Maycott is whatever the fuck her name is.
It's
May
Acott.
Acott, whatever. She was so flopulous for doing that, but then also, thank you for not always giving us what we want because it
realized-
reminds us that we're human.
I just realized La La Land is so Little Women coded, where it's like they don't get together in the end. Oops. Spoiler!
Yeah, but I mean, she ends up with. Oh, you didn't even watch the new one.
I
so
watched the old one. It's the same thing, is it not?
But still,
It's the same thing.
I guess.
Do you want to talk about? I wrote Atonement because Atonement was a book, and that is my
Yeah.
favorite. One of my favorite
Just
war
movie?
films.
Oh yeah, me too. It's because it's so fun.
not war.
It's not war. It's literally only for girls. Oh my god, and it's so. See, it's so like novel and like book coded in itself
Mhm.
too.
Well,
Because one of
'cause
the
it's
most
very-
biggest and poignant scenes is literally in a library when
Yeah.
they're like getting
Oh
naughty.
yeah, that's like the moment that changed the world.
No, it's literally the moment of the green dress. Sorry, Evelyn Hugo or whatever.
yeah.
No, this green dress.
This one.
this green
No,
dress.
I want it.
No, we all like. Oh
If you
my-
haven't seen Atonement, I feel like I'd say when we talk about like twists in movies, anytime anyone mentions twists in movies, I always say Atonement.
yeah.
The twist in Atonement, I bet reading that book, like if you were reading that book for the first time when it just came out, you would have been like shell shocked.
No, because we're not gonna say what it is, but it actually changed my. No, because they put their whole beep into that.
You're bleeping yourself now.
Saoirse Ronan.
Oh yeah,
Keira Knightley
and James McAvoy.
oh my god. What a trio. What like an actual trio. Saoirse is not like older. She's like young.
child.
She's like baby Saoirse.
Yeah,
Which is
I want to kick her to the ground.
Yeah, which is crazy because thinking about Keira Knightley and Saoirse Ronan, I think of
thought they
them
were the
both
same
as
age.
older women that they're the same age now.
No.
Saoirse's fully a child in this.
Like what?
But I remember in high school we had to do some like writing assignment for one of like AP Lit or AP Lang or something, and there was like a list of books that we could choose from, and Atonement was one of them. And I remember seeing that and I was like gagged because I was like, wait, this is a book? I did not even know that because the movie actually.
Well, it's kind of like meta because the movie's like part interview.
Yeah, but
Which
you don't really know that. Yeah,
It's like
You
it's on another level of like writing. I just don't.
and just like betrayal and backstabbing. So if you're really wanting to just get into it,
Watch the movie.
Yeah,
That's
all.
Bye. Normal People's a book, and it was a great show, and I loved both
She
of them.
was a book.
It was a book,
Yeah.
and it did happen. And Paul Mescal is
Yeah,
slay,
sorry to Sally Rooney's other. What is that?
Conversation with Friends, not good.
Yeah, sorry. No, Normal People actually did the damn thing.
They're gonna make the other one, the
A
Beautiful
Beautiful
World. Where are
World.
you? They'll make
Yeah.
that a show, but like,
No, because Normal People touched me in the way that Fleabag did, where it's just like a scary, weird, like, I think it's because media has just completely lacked a poignant, like, point of view of women's struggle in relationships in this, like, century
I
now
think-
for a while.
I think a relationship where both sides are failing, like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so, and again, it's like raw. The best word I use to
For
describe it is
Raw, yeah.
It's so.
It's not, they're
good.
not sugarcoating literally anything.
None of it.
And
Not a moment.
yeah, and if you're just one of those kinds of people who hate communicating and just always keep your feelings to yourself and it leads you astray into the most horrible situations, watch Normal People and it's an awakening. Like it's gonna make you get up and like call whoever you need to call and
Yeah.
be like, we need to talk.
No, it's so good, and it's interesting because people love Conversation with Friends, the book,
Yeah.
and a lot of people did like the show, but I mean,
It's not the same. I also think, though, I've not read either, like, any other of Sally Rooney's books, but her writing style is kind of off-putting for people who are not used to it.
no quotation marks.
No quotation marks. So, which you would think isn't a big change, but it very much is.
Yeah.
So if you haven't read it or you haven't, like, literally heard it from 10,000 other women,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
we're just telling you that now.
But as people who have read the book, I think the book or the show was a perfect adaptation of the book.
yeah,
In
because
ways-
she did the script for it.
and it
so.
added just enough, and it kept just enough. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna list. I highlighted stuff in green because that was like the like that
Important
time.
things.
I feel like, but that's like all
Everyone
together.
already knows that.
The Hunger Games, Divergent, The Maze Runner, Lord of the Rings, Dune, the movies,
Like Percy
Harry
Jackson.
Potter, Percy, all of that genre of things. Those are all series
Yeah.
that I love, but it's like sometimes I wish that someone would have come up with a story similar that was like a unique thing on
Yeah,
its own, so that I could have two things that I like.
Like a thing that I was thinking about as we were developing kind of our outline for this is that I feel like just as with biopics and like all these different things that already have a set storyline and outline for you, it's kind of a crutch to
It's a
do
cheat.
it.
You're
It's a
che-
cheat.
It's literally cheating. That's why at the Oscars there's two separate categories: best writing and best adapted writing.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting though because it's a cheat in one way because you literally have the whole story outlined for you, but then you have very high expectations to meet.
Well, that's like the whole.
So it's like, and then it levels itself out to being difficult no matter what.
Yeah, and it's I don't know, especially like when I think of Harry Potter or when I think of, I guess Lord of the Rings, where it's like the fan base of the books was so big
Yeah.
that like nothing. It feels like nothing could have lived up to how good it was, and yet they still made something spectacular.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because they could have gate kept that shit for as long as they
Yeah.
wanted to.
Yeah.
Because it's just those kind of stories are not things that are palatable for the layman, like everyday person. But for them to be able to still make something that has literally it
Transcends
Gra-
time and space.
yeah, grasps the world basically
Yeah.
is a feat in itself. So we'll give him that. I didn't want. Well, I'm familiar, but
With
I'm not
what?
like a
All
fan.
I love the Harry Potter movies.
Well, I'm speaking in terms of like Game of Thrones.
Oh,
and,
I
like,
see.
those
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
like
yeah.
kind of things.
What else? I wrote A Clockwork Orange was a book, a short story.
Like who wrote it?
No, I fully I watched that movie and I was like, oh, Stanley Kubrick like definitely thought of this stuff like himself, because he definitely thought of what is it? All the like the 2001: Space Odyssey was like his
Yeah.
brain. Someone didn't write that before, but it's like who thought of the weird ass plot of Clockwork Orange? I was like, this is a book.
Yeah, who wrote? I'm trying to see. Oh,
Someone famous.
Anthony Burgess.
Anthony Burgess.
Who, I don't know who the. I'm sorry, but I don't know who this man is.
I'm sorry, but I do not know who this man is. He wrote 1985. What? Okay,
Wait.
copy the title, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know who this man is. Sorry, but you have a crazy brain.
Yeah.
But then also, I am always so impressed with people who can make the most transcendent, weird stuff like this because not many have the creativity.
Well, I love A Clockwork Orange, but it makes
Yeah.
me concerned for the minds of humans.
Yeah.
Weird. I guess I want to talk about War of the Worlds. It's not really a book.
It's just the
It's a
world.
it's like
just
a-
the
It's like it. Well, okay, so it was like War of the Worlds was, what's his name, Orson Welles'
Yeah.
speech to the radio, but it's not like a script or a movie. It's like a speech. So I guess I put under book because it's a piece of text. But War of the Worlds, the movie with Tom Cruise, the one that I watched because I was so excited. I was like, oh my god, Tom Cruise in a movie with aliens. It was bad.
Oh, David
I didn't
Harbour's
like it.
also in it.
David Oh yes.
Yeah.
Wait, he is.
That's what it says. Dock work. He was a dock worker. Oh, so
Oh.
like yeah,
Okay, so
barely credited.
But I don't know. I feel like it's hard. Again, this goes into sci-fi adaptations. It's hard to adapt sci-fi. I
Yeah.
just read the not just like a little bit ago, the Three Body Problem, which is a very popular science fiction book, like one of the best ever. I hold it with quotation marks because it's subjective or objective, but it's being adapted into a show at Netflix, and everyone's like, "How are you gonna do that?
Yeah.
Like, how are you? Like, what do you like? This? It's a really hard book to adapt. So the fact that they adapt sci-fi things is really cool, but it's like so hard and often is
Yeah.
cheesy and bad.
I guess it's good that at least it's happening now when technology is at its prime
Yeah.
and they're able to at least make the story as accurate as they can. Whereas, like, I don't know, a sci-fi thing that came out in like the 80s and then they made it in the 80s, like Star Wars, for example. Like, it wasn't based off a book, it was just like George Lucas's thing. But, like, looking at that compared to like
Yeah.
Star Wars is now, like the
Whack.
tech and all of that
it's
stuff
whack.
just is so whack.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
If you're tuning in right now, randomly on this fine Tuesday afternoon, welcome to Girls on Film Radio. I'm Izzy.
And I'm Maddie.
And follow us on Instagram at Girls on Film Radio if you don't already. We're talking about adaptations of things into film and TV. We're at the woman of the hour.
Yeah.
Taylor Jenkins Reid is just like slaying the adaptation game.
Yeah, and she's on
Fully-
only her first ride.
No, fully. This is this is the first of
What's
technically it's of because One True Loves is also coming out right now.
yeah.
Everything she's writing is being adapted. Every single thing.
Good
She's the
for
new
her.
Stephen King.
No, literally good for her. It's finally the girl's time.
Yeah. So Daisy Jones and the Six is out. It's so good. I think it's great. We can talk about it in a sec because I know
Yeah.
you haven't watched all of it yet.
Yeah.
But Seven Husbands is being made at Netflix. Malibu Rising is being made at Hulu. Weird that there's
it's
all
so
these
interesting.
different
I was gonna
services.
say yeah.
Mick Riva is gonna have a fun time. Let me tell you. But and then One True Loves the movie is like out. And
Oh,
it's coming out. I think it's coming out like
yeah.
this month. But this woman is a fully like taking over the adaptation game. But the thing is, her books, I would say, I'm gonna say it, and I'll only say it once, just like Colleen Hoover's, who are so popular. Don't like her.
Yeah.
Are so popular on the internet, and so many people started their reading journeys with these books
Yeah.
that I'm scared of how much hate these shows get because book purists, I call them, don't
Yeah.
want anything to change from the books.
Yeah.
But then I think like I'm in film school, like I know how tough it is to make a show and how many things you have to change.
Yeah.
That it's like I get it. You have to change things.
Logistically, if you did, because this is the thing that if they did stick so closely to the actual book and then show came out or whatever, and then it was shit, they would complain about it. But they complain about it when it is changed and it's actually spectacular.
Also, you
and
guys
then,
want to watch the same, read and then watch the same thing.
exactly. Yeah.
You don't want it to be a little different.
Yeah, I don't know, the variety. Like you don't know if it's gonna be changed in your favor. You don't know if it's gonna like your characters are actually characters are actually gonna be in this like situations that you wanted them to be in, whereas in the book it wasn't. Like you never know until it happens.
And then this is a point to you because I know you like watched the first episode and you were a little hesitant.
Yeah.
But the way I was thinking about it, and I saw someone talk about this, is the Daisy Jones and the Six book was written as a series of interviews, but the whole thing at the beginning of the interviews that the interviewer says is like different accounts of the same event are different, and we like keep secrets and we don't tell the truth all the time to the people that we love. And so like I think that the show is what actually happened, and then the book is like what people said happened. You know, if that makes sense. So like the show is what actually happened, kind of, and then the interviews in the book are what the band members said happened.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I don't know. That was just a little point to you. Just think, but she's slaying.
No, it's because isn't the whole thing is that all of her books like are connected in some
all
way?
The four: Daisy Jones, Malibu, Seven Husbands, and Carrie Soto.
Then
One
how
True
are
Loves
they-
is out.
Then how are
of
they
the universe.
having Seven Husbands not be?
What
Wait,
do you
which one is the one that's not through Hulu?
Seven Husbands is Netflix.
Oh, yeah. So how are they? Like,
So there's no Mick Riva in the Daisy Jones and the Six show. He wasn't at the. Well, I mean,
Okay.
that's not a spoiler, but he's not in the cast list, so he doesn't exist unless
damn.
I don't know. So he's not in Daisy Jones and the Six because his character is not like crucial in this. He's just there. In Carrie Soto, he's mentioned once, which is like a little tie-in. Malibu Rising, he is the dad, so he's in that book. And Seven Husbands, he's a main sub character, like a main supporting cast. So it's like I know in Seven Husbands he's gonna be there, but I guess they don't need to be on the same streaming service to have the same characters.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like
Weird.
it gives me the same vibes of like how the Flash in like all of the
DC movies?
Yeah, it has been like changing for every other thing.
Well,
and stuff,
yeah,
and, like, all that stuff.
It's
But,
like if you made the Lord of the Rings, but each one at a different company with different actors.
so unsettling and weird.
But whatever.
Yeah.
Do you care about any of the last two, or can we move on? I only have plays. I have two written.
Oh,
down.
I have a play.
Oh, you wrote
My
down
Bay, literally Fleabag.
Oh,
is
true.
literally a play.
True. Well, I wrote down The Whale because The Whale won. Brendan Fraser won his award last night. It was originally a play, and clearly the movie got high reviews because of Brendan Fraser's acting, not because of the movie. Everyone said the movie was dry, or the story and the other actors were dry and bleh, and that Brendan Fraser and what's her name?
Sadie Saint?
No.
that Asian one?
Yes.
I'm so bad.
No, she's in The Menu. What were we just talking about the menu?
Yes.
Me and Zoe were just talking about The Menu. Well, they said Brendan Fraser was like the highlight of the entire movie. So, good adaptation, question mark? Good main character who carried the adaptation? Yes.
I feel like, I don't know, I love, because in kind of learning the ropes of what screenwriting is and like what it takes to make like a film, you wouldn't think, at least for me, because I didn't really have any theater experience, like a screenplay and then like a theater, what is it called? Is it just like a script?
It's a script, yeah.
It's like they're so similar yet so different at the same time.
Yeah.
So I love to see plays to become from like one visual thing to become like another visual thing.
Well, because when you look at a play, you're looking at it from one angle.
Yeah.
And then film is all around. Also, it's Hong Chow.
Yeah. Okay.
Hong Chow. Was in The Menu and she was great. You want to talk about
Yeah,
Fleabag?
Fleabag
I
is
wrote Romeo and Juliet because every movie about romance from two opposing parties that are fighting is Romeo and Juliet. So there you go.
Yeah. Fleabag is what
We should just do a whole Fleabag.
I just need to literally do a whole Fleabag episode. Phoebe Waller-Bridges.
That'll be on our Patreon.
Yeah. Phoebe Waller-Bridges, iconic one-woman show that literally put her on the map, is filled with just her crude, like just anecdotes.
I would say brain vomit.
And brain vomit of, it's such a weird thing to like talk about because it's literally her as a woman literally just recounting things that like happened in her life in the play, but it's only her. So she's like everybody, and she's in one chair, one spotlight on her, and it's again so similar to the actual show. It follows very closely for in some like way. I don't know how they were able to do it, but like in the show or in the play, she refers to the people that aren't like her or like important characters as just like nicknames that she makes up for them in her head. Like this ugly guy that approaches her on the bus or whatever is called like the rodent man. Like she calls him a rodent guy because he has like fucked up teeth. And then in the show, he's literally a dude with big ass buck teeth. Like the things that you would refer to your friends as and like how you would give
the
little
character names?
Yeah, are literally the character names.
Well,
which
that's because
I
how it
love,
was like
and it's
accounted
so
in the book.
fun.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
cool. That's
but
cool.
it's so.
Sorry, someone's
Wait, why was
screaming
that
outside.
so loud? Yeah. I'm having very much a lot of difficulty finding the actual like play online. I cannot find it anywhere.
Like a recording?
Yeah.
I'm gonna find one
which
for you.
sucks so
I'll
hard.
find
Maybe
one.
I'm just like not looking hard enough. I'll pay.
You have to
for
look up
it.
Fleabag slime video or like
Is it slime?
You
I don't
say
know.
you have to look up like slime video. That's what
Oh, I
people.
don't
They
know.
will.
I'm not a
I'll-
theater.
Oh, I got
yeah.
you, girl.
I need to
No, I
watch,
got
but
you.
I need to have like one episode that I can. We need to do I'm gonna send you this YouTube video for you to watch. I'm gonna. I have to send it to Paige too, but it's one of those like sit down videos where they dissect like a show like TV thing or whatever.
I watch
And
those
then-
for BoJack Horseman
Yeah,
every day.
and then we just reconnected to like sociology and psychology and
Yeah.
all of like just all those things. And this one was about Fleabag and normal people and like dissociative feminism and all those things. And I was like, oh yeah, we need to do Girls on Fart.
Dissociative feminism the next episode.
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
The rest of the things I have written down are like weird things that got adapted that aren't necessarily books, movies, shows, texts. The first one, well, it's The Witcher, the series, was a book, and then it was turned into a video game that you could play, and then it was turned into a
You
TV
guys
show.
love that? I've never seen
I
that.
love The Witcher. I love The Witcher. And it's so anti-me because I don't usually like fantasy and like dragons and magic,
Yeah.
but the shows are so good. But now it's going to be bad because Henry Cavill's leaving and Liam Hemsworth is replacing him.
Whoa.
Who decided? Who was like, yes, we need to replace Henry Cavill, the bulkiest, chunkiest
Yeah.
man in Hollywood, most beautiful, with Liam Hemsworth. Not even Chris Hemsworth. Liam Hemsworth.
And wasn't he literally like ostracized because of
Miley
him?
Cyrus?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, why are we trying to give men comebacks?
Yeah, well, the flowers thing happened after, but whatever.
Whatever. Yeah.
I wrote Pirates of the Caribbean. This one's funny because it's based on the ride.
I did not know that.
So Disney made the Pirates of the Caribbean
Yeah.
ride in my Disney, right? Disneyland.
No, Disney World is
Is
in
mine
Florida.
Disney World? Disney World. Sorry.
Disneyland is here.
Sorry, guys, I never get it right. Disney
Yeah.
World in Florida had a Pirates of the Caribbean ride, and then
Yeah.
Disney was like, "Ha, we're actually gonna make a movie about it now." And
That's
they were
crazy.
good, and the people like the movies.
Yeah.
Fast and Furious was a magazine article.
Was it really? I had
That's
no
what it
idea.
said. It said it was a magazine article about like some car act something, which is weird.
I should know this, but I don't.
Well, whoopsies.
Well, I
Don't
know.
tell anyone.
Well, I know enough about Justin Lin's work outside of Fast and Furious, which I feel like is better.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You get the
Whatever.
niche stuff.
Yeah, I get the niche.
But
stuff.
isn't it interesting that things can be made out of articles? Like entire
Yeah.
show. But there's even weirder stuff. The Lego movie was based on Legos.
What?
The
No.
Ouija movie was based on the board game. Crazy. I
You're
know.
serious?
And then this is my favorite. The Emoji movie was based on emojis.
No, you're not. Yeah, why was one of them literally a shit?
But okay, like they literally think about like the pitch room for this Emoji movie. You're going in, you have no ideas left. You've gone through all of your other ideas. You're pitching all these random notes you wrote down in your notebook, and you have nothing left. And the guy's like, "Do you have any other final ideas?" And you say, "A movie about emojis."
Isn't Bill Hader in it?
Probably.
Or like some crazy. Wait, let's see.
Let's check. But like, why? Like, why
Oh,
was
it's
this
n-
ever a thought into
Wait, no.
T.J. Miller? James Corden's in it, of course. Oh,
Why did I
Patrick
think-
Stewart plays Poop.
Yeah, why did I think Bill Hader was in it? Oh,
Christina
it's because Bill
Aguilera.
Hader was in. What the hell is this? He was
What?
in another animated movie.
He's probably. I mean,
He was in Ralph Breaks the Internet,
Yeah.
where he was like basically playing like a video game little emoji thing. That's
Yeah.
what I thought. But
there's literally Jennifer Coolidge, Sofia Vergara, Maya Rudolph, Jake T. Austin's in it for some reason.
TJ Miller's literally canceled, so this movie's over.
Over.
Yeah.
But isn't that weird? And then this one was weird because I talked about Baby Driver like last episode. Baby Driver is based on the music video called Blue Song by Mint Royale that was also directed by the same director. I don't know his
That's
name.
actually so cool.
So the director made a music video for a song about a guy who was in the car while his I watched the video
Edgar
while his
yeah.
friends are like robbing a bank and he's picking the CDs to play in the car. and then the director made a movie about it.
Yeah,
which is like weird.
Edgar Wright has like the.
Edgar Wright's such a weird name because isn't that an author that's also really famous?
Is he?
Edgar Allan Poe. Sorry.
Yeah.
And
Whoa.
Sorry, my bad. There's too many Edgars.
No. I guess.
There. All of this is to say that there's no. I don't know if there's a formula for best adaptations.
You
at
know
all.
what we're actually saying is that Hollywood has relied on crutches for way too long because every damn director is also a director-writer, and they just always want to have their own like writing to be attached to their own directing.
Yeah.
So they just go for like books and all of these different
And then they rewrite them.
and then they rewrite them so that they can have the credit for it because nobody trusts a screenwriter.
Yeah.
Sorry. Similarly to, I guess this also kind of follows the track of like why biopics have been like so popular for like a minute is because you have the story right there. You see the life,
and they're already famous. You already have everything.
Yeah.
For you.
So Hollywood just has so many crutches that nobody wants to talk about.
But then again, like I'm literally gonna be going into book adaptations. Like that's what I want to do is book adaptations.
But I feel like at least for like I don't see Taylor Jenkins Reid and like Sally Rooney in the same like sphere as like a Harry Potter and like a series or like a trilogy or whatever because it's still only one unique story.
Yeah.
Whereas like, oh my God, how many Harry Potters are there? Like 1,000 of them. Like it's a cop out. You make one and you know if it's at least
it's good,
like minutely successful, you're gonna have at least like 10
and then
years
you make
of
the
content.
spin-off, and there's the spin-off.
And then you have the video games, then you have all these things, and then you have all these other things.
Yeah.
I just feel like for at least like plays and singular books, that's like the only adaptation that I really like.
Yeah. But they make the money. IP makes the money.
Unfortunately.
Well, if you guys have any book adaptations or video game adaptations that we didn't mention that you want to share with us that you think we would like,
or things that you think should be adapted into
yeah, there's plenty. Please let us know.
I literally just remembered one that I love, but it was canceled. It's so tragic. Deadly Class was one of my favorite shows ever, and it was based off a graphic novel that is so good.
Oh, like The Sandman's based on a graphic novel too. They're like everything's based on something.
Oh, Scott Pilgrim.
Coraline.
Yeah. Well,
there's a lot.
There's a lot. And some I feel should get the credit for being great, like whatever it is originally was, and then its adaptation, and then some things were absolute flops.
Yeah. So there's no formula. We just know that the things that are intellectual property that can get bought that already exist make the most money because there's already fans. And then fans get upset if things change.
Yeah, you can never please anybody is basically what we're saying.
No.
Not even us.
Unless you're a Lord of the Rings fan, then you can please it.
I guess. What's that one actor that literally everybody loves? Who has
Viggo Mortensen?
No, the one who plays... Oh, I literally had the biggest brain fart.
Oh,
ever.
Orlando Bloom. The blonde one.
No, the other one that has blue eyes.
That's Viggo.
Wait, really?
Yeah. The one with the brown
I'm
hair?
thinking of the wrong thing.
Well, thanks for listening to our episode today,
this
guys.
was like such a brain fart episode. But
We
it's
love
all
brain
right.
farts. Okay, talk to you all next Tuesday. Bye.
Wait, no, not next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, spring
oh my
break.
God, spring break is next Tuesday.
So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
It's Chapman Radio.
Go inside with your favorite Chapman athletes and coaches every Thursday at noon on Panther Insider.
With your hosts, Parker Bell and Tanner Pierce.
Trinkets on string, still hanging on the wall of my house. Couldn't really figure it out. Why would you leave just that one little piece? Better it's now, I'll let you know. Better it's now, I'll let you know.